So here we are again with another review of Ahsoka. So basically, to start with, I just want to sort of say, like, because I've listened to a few other people's reviews and things, and I've listened to like what they have to say, and for me, like, I'm not like hating this show. I'm not loving it just yet. It hasn't completely like blown my mind or wowed me just yet. I'm not hating it, but I feel like there's a lot of negativity around this show. I don't think this is the worst thing ever, but like people are really like trashing it and acting like it is the worst thing ever. I want to also like make a point that, like, you know, about the whole woke thing. Is the show woke? I mean, yeah, I would say it is kind of woke. It is a Whaman show. It is a show filled with Whaman, but I don't think that this is like Ghostbusters 2016. There was absolutely no reason to make that movie, get completely new characters and have them all be women. Like, that didn't make any sense. You know, it doesn't always have to be the same thing, and it doesn't always have to be a man, it doesn't always have to be a woman. And I feel like fans who are a bit dismissive need to kind of like recognize, okay, is this a you know, okay, there's women in this movie. Is this a Ghostbusters 2016 situation, or is this a thing where the main characters just so happen to be female? And it's, you know, it's a Star Wars show where the main characters just so happen to be female and not male. It would be nice if there was some cool like male characters in there, but not every show has to have a badass female. Not every show has to have a badass man, I guess. I'm hoping Luke Skywalker shows up. I'm hoping some other characters show up. You know, maybe the Mandalorian, maybe Din Djarin, Pedro Pascal could be in it, perhaps. But no, this episode though, there isn't really a lot to talk about, to be truly honest with you. It was kind of just like, there was a bit of training at the beginning with Sabine being trained in the ways of the Force. I'll be honest with you, she kind of looked hot. Yeah, in her training outfit. Yeah, not gonna lie. Moving on. But then after that was just an action scene in space. It was a space chase. That's it, really. So you had basically a training scene where purple-haired lady wearing a sexy outfit, and then a space chase. And it was quite cool. It was quite a cool little action scene. You had purple-haired lady shooting guns in a turret, and then you had Ahsoka floating about in space. You got to see some whales, right? They were being chased by that mentally ill-looking Dark Jedi woman. I think her name's called Shin. So yeah, that girl doesn't blink. She looks mental. She absolutely looks mental. I feel like I've met her before. But yeah, there isn't really a whole lot to talk about. Like, this episode was kind of just like a sort of an episode that obviously is leading into the next one. So I'm assuming like the next episode will be an episode that blows our minds or whatever, because this episode felt like a build-up episode. As I say, it was just a bit of training, a bit of character development, and then an action scene. But yeah, I want to talk more about just like the whole, you know, fans dismissive, you know, people's opinions and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, absolutely. Okay, this is a Whaman show. But let's talk about Sabine. Let's talk about her. Because at first, I'll be honest with you, I didn't really like her. Like, when I first saw her, when she was on that speeder, and they were trying to sort of make her look cool or whatever, trying to be like, yeah, she rides a speeder bike and she's cool, blah, 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 blah. And then just kind of like that whole first episode was just a bit sort of slow, and there was sort of a lot of padding and blah, 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 blah. But the question I want to ask is she a Mary Sue? Because I don't think she is. Is she a Mary Sue like Rey? And I think the answer to that is no, because she doesn't know everything. She's training in the ways of the Force. She's learning how to fight with a lightsaber. She has a fight with a lightsaber. She fights the mentally ill girl who doesn't blink, and she loses. She loses the fight. And I know some people, you know, have issue with her being stabbed and living from being stabbed with a lightsaber. I do have an issue as well, but one could argue, like, if we're making a comparison to like Qui-Gon Jinn being stabbed in The Phantom Menace, with this, Ahsoka showed up and immediately was able to get a medic, like help her and save her life, basically. Whereas with Qui-Gon, that whole situation, Qui-Gon was stabbed and then Obi-Wan had to fight Darth Maul, so a lot of time went past, chopped Darth Maul in half, and blah 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 blah. By that point, Qui-Gon was gone. He dead.
You dead.
You know, he only had enough time to say, hey, train Anakin, you know, he is the chosen one, blah 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 blah. But I do agree, like, a lot of people in Star Wars, like in Obi-Wan, Reva got stabbed, and then that Inquisitor with the bald head got stabbed and they didn't die, and now Sabine got stabbed and didn't die. But yeah, the argument is there for her being rescued easily by Ahsoka and blah 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 blah. You know, I don't want to talk about that anymore. But the point that people are missing is that she lost the fight. She had a fight with an experienced Jedi, somebody who'd been trained, and she lost. So that's good. You know, if that should have happened in The Force Awakens with Rey. But it didn't happen, and it made Rey seem like a Mary Sue. I quite like all of the back and forth with her and the robot, played by David Tennant. You know, his name's called Hu Yang. Bit of a strange name for a droid, but whatever. And yeah, I quite like the banter between her and Hu Yang. He just completely like takes the piss out of her and sort of humbles her and says like, yeah, you're shit, you know? You're terrible. You're a terrible Jedi. You have no force capabilities whatsoever. Ezra was much better.
Not bad, but not good.
It's been a while.
Obviously.
So yeah, I quite like that. So I don't think that she is a Mary Sue, and as I say, like at first I wasn't really all that into her, but now I'm coming around. I'm coming around to her, and okay, yes, the show happens to have women, you know, in the lead roles, but I think that's what the show is. It's like sort of complaining that Charlie's Angels, oh, there's too many women, you know, oh, there's 3 women and they're badass, you know. I quite like the Charlie's Angels movies, I'm sorry to say that. I know some people might think ill of me for saying that, but like, you know, the films with Cameron Diaz, Drew Barrymore and Lucy Liu, they're quite fun. But that's the thing, like, they didn't market this show as a male show. But I guess one could argue that maybe like when there is a show like Obi-Wan, which is obviously a show which stars a man, they always want to insert a female badass character like Reva or whatever into the show to steal the thunder from the main character. That's kind of what Reva was in Obi-Wan Kenobi. And also like in Book of Boba Fett, you had Ming-Na Wen, you know, pretty much overshadowing Boba Fett. So yeah, you know, I think people just need to like give this show a little bit of a chance. I understand, like, if you don't like it, you don't like it. It's whatever, it is what it is. I'm still kind of like on the side of yes, it's okay. It's not the worst thing ever. This new episode was just kind of like an action scene, basically. You know, I liked seeing Ahsoka floating around in space. I thought that was quite cute. And I also quite liked Sabine in her, yeah. But everything could change, you know, episode 4 could suck, or episode 4 could be amazing. So far, we haven't had that kind of episode that's really kind of like made you go, whoa, oh shit. You know, like, so far we've just had 3 episodes that have sort of built up. They've been building up. We haven't got to that kind of like, you know, Red Wedding sort of style episode where it's just like, oh shit. Or like, you know, any kind of episode 9 of every season of Game of Thrones, you know, like that always tends to be the episode that goes, whoa, okay, some shit got real, you know, like Ned Stark getting his head chopped off. So yeah, I'm still on the side of I'm giving this show a chance, but who knows, all could change very soon. Yeah, I sort of feel like it would be, I think this show would be better if it was just all out. If the whole show was all out and I could just binge it, you know, I think it would be much better. But you know, I have rewatched it twice now. I've seen all the episodes so far twice, and it's not bad. Give it a chance. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking now. Thank you very much for listening to this review. As I say, I'm going to try and get one out every Friday. But in the meantime, please subscribe and comment and like. And yes, carry on watching my stuff. So thank you very much. Goodbye.